Hi guys, this is Tringwen from PlayWarren.com, and I hope you have been enjoying sparring against Goran the past couple of days. Today I want to talk about the EV calculator and the starting hand feature that you can use to improve your open face Chinese poker game. An EV calculator is basically you set a hand versus your opponent's hand, and you go from there. So let's imagine you have king. Let's have a cool queen, and from the back is okay. Let's say I set it up. We have a monster, and our friend and our opponent's hand something have like king two offsuit in the middle and 7 7 6 on the bottom. So in EV calculator, you can set up all kind of scenarios to figure out what the equity situation is. So let's say the next card is a three of heart. How would you play this hand? Well, there's some important features that I want you to look at is evaluate. When you click evaluate, there's an estimation of equity on where you place three. You place the three in the middle, you get your equity is negative 0.28. You place it on top, it's negative 0.45, and you place it on the bottom. That's the worst decision by far, and you get negative 3.14 in equity. Now, I want to let you guys know the limitation of evaluate, because evaluate is just an estimation. That means the result is off when compared to a simulation. So let's say the result, you don't agree with the result, you think that the simulation is a little off. So what you can do is you can actually simulate the situation. In simulation, it actually takes longer because the AI actually play out the entire hand to come up with a fairly accurate number. So let's simulate the situation. When you simulate the situation, there will be a blue box on the bottom right that will let you know it's being simulated, and there will be a green box that pop up to let you know that the simulation is done. And once it's done, you can click in the simulation box and you can see the results. Okay, and the simulation is done. From the result here, you can see that if you place a 3 on the bottom, you're not gonna get any top royalties. But if you place it in the middle or the top, you have a chance of getting a front royalty, which is 0.07 when you hit a pair of queens or better. And again, let's go back to the calculator. And if you feel the simulation result is a little off, what you can do is you can actually simulate the situation again. As you can see, it says simulation is currently running. So you can play against one. During the meantime, you don't have to sit there and wait. And okay, so the pop-up show that is done, so you can kick back to simulation. It will load the new results. And as you can see right here, you can actually compare the two results to see how accurate it is. So here's the second simulation, and here's the first simulation. And as you can see, the result, even though it's different by a few points, it doesn't vary too much. And of course, I want to mention that you can simulate the same situation over and over again if you think the numbers are off. In the simulation, some simulation will take faster than others because in very simple situation like in endgames, it's going to take a second to give you the result because there's not that many combinations that the AI has to go through. Also, the way we design the AI is that after we simulate 500 hands, and if we are fairly confident the result is correct, we just give you that result. But if the AI is not confident or the confidence interval is too low, then it will simulate more hands until it reaches cap to give you more accurate results. And of course, if you don't think the results are accurate, you can always simulate again. And you can do this for as long as you can sit in front of the computer and curious about it. And that's the EV calculator. And that's the difference between evaluate and simulate. And the last feature is starting hand. This is everyone's favorite function because a lot of people don't know how to set the initial hands. But I want to make sure that there's limitation to to starting your hand, because starting your hand is the most complicated part of playing open face Chinese, and we are working extremely hard at the moment to improve our starting hand feature. So I can select 5 cards in the starting hand, and this is the hand I want to evaluate. And again, when I click evaluate, it basically gives me an estimation of the top 10 hands. And you might notice that the top 10 hands might not be your top 10 hands. You might notice that there's some hand that the AI left out. It is completely true. The main reason is it's based on evaluation. So what the AI does is it just give a quick estimate on how to play this hand. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But if you want more accurate results, what you can do is you can simulate the situation, and it will simulate the top 5 hands to see whether this number is true or not, or whether this number is accurate to the truth or not. And the one thing you will notice is that sometimes there's a starting hand that you want to try, but it's not in the top 10 hands. Well, what you can do is you can use the EV calculator and enter the starting hand that you want and whatever your opponent's hand is, and you can just play around with the EV calculator. If you don't think the results are correct using evaluate, then you can use simulate. You can use simulations, and then the more you play with the AI, the better you will get at it. I'm confident that it is the best simulator for open face Chinese poker out there. We have a genius from Caltech and MIT working on this. And that is it for starting in an EV calculator. Until next time, this is Tring Nguyen. Good luck at the tables, guys.